Okay, it's Wednesday on the Euros. I'm pretty late, actually, with this video. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 4:36 p.m.
4:36 p.m. ahead of the 5 p.m. kickoff. So I've got some bets on the 5 p.m. kickoff. So this video will probably go up whilst the 5 p.m.s are on. Sorry if any have already won by then. I've had a lot to do. Before we discuss today's bets, talk about yesterday's. I had 14 bets overall on the video. I did have more later on, but let's talk about the 14 on the video. 3-1, so I laid 11 or more goals. There were 7 goals in the first 2 games, none in the latter games. And Declan Rice got his foul, and Erizan Janza got his card. Other than that, the rest of them lost because I was mostly on over things to happen. Goals, player to get 2 goals, player to get an anytime goal, first goal scorer. And when it's a 0-0, sometimes everything just loses. A little bit the same with the combo bets. Unless you're betting the unders, which I wasn't, apart from the 11 or more goals, then you're just going to lose every bet that involves action. And it happens. It's when you look at sample sizes and bet history, is often important to look in terms of individual games, not individual bets. You could have 50 bets involving a goal or an assist or something like that in a game, and when it finishes 0-0, all 50 bets are going to lose. Now, one of the bets lost. It was a big bet. It was 3.65 to back. We made the fair odds 2.94. And this is kind of a new bet. Often in betting, bookmakers go through cycles of new things that take their interest. And just now, somebody, I suspect it's Paddy Power, but don't quote me, somebody is boosting each goalkeeper to make 3+ saves. This particular bet was up yesterday in Netherlands-Austria. It was up in England versus Slovenia as quite a big bet. That was 5.5 to back. We made the fair odds 4.64. It had been up for Croatia versus Italy. It had been up for Switzerland versus Germany. All of them big. The Switzerland versus Germany one, we made it odds on, and they pushed it out to 2.5. What was interesting about that is they pushed it out. They said it was 6-5, and then they pushed it to 6-4. But then sometime closer to kickoff, they went was 4-6, now 8-11. Like, they just changed the was and now, as if they got something wrong. And there's no market for this on the exchange, or there wasn't for that bet. So if you wanted to bet on this, there's no closing line to compare against, or if there is, it's an enhanced special closing line. Be very wary of those. They're often biased. Those closing lines aren't the same as, for example, a horse at Royal Ascot or one match odds. Anyway, I looked back at the Euros since we've been putting saves up, and it's kind of been like, if you follow this pattern, loss, win. So this is each goalkeeper to have 3+ saves. Loss, win, win, win. Loss, win, win. Loss, win, win. Loss, win, loss, win. Loss, loss, win. So now, at this point, we put them on the tracker, and it goes loss, 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 loss. Loss, 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 loss. In total, 30% of games, 31% of games have had each goalkeeper having 3+ saves. But we've now had 8 in a row since we started putting it on the tracker where it hasn't happened. This naturally has led to conversation about whether it's right or not, whether the calculation is right or not. Now, my calculation for this involves looking at the markets, working out somebody that offers both the over and the under, because then I know that if one side is off, it'll be shaped by sharp money. And I've done this for long enough, and I have enough data to have an educated guess about whereabouts in the margin they're applying their bias. I have huge amounts of data, actually, to have a very, very good educated guess at that. Now, we're betting at levels where anywhere in that margin, you know, it doesn't matter. It should still be a plus EV bet, so that's really fine honing it for thin exchange backing and laying. But it hasn't come in 8 games in a row. This doesn't mean that the calculation is wrong. If anything, the calculation is still very good. There was a 5.1 that came in an individual goalkeeper at Sky Bet. And as always, it is possible to be that sharp and go and smash the under if you think we're pricing it up too high. And today, we are pricing Dubravka. I should know that because he's the Newcastle goalkeeper. And I'm a Newcastle fan. We are pricing him up. Well, we're not pricing him up. We've looked at the markets and we've deduced that the markets are pricing him up at 2.62 with 5.13 saves in the game. By the way, if interested, and you may not be, there have been 175 saves so far in this tournament. 167.6 is what we estimated. If anything, we're estimating a little low, meaning these bets would have been even better. So, yeah, that 2.62 saves for Dubravka, it means that there is a bet out there that has pushed the exchange markets up, and I really like Dubravka 2.5 saves, over 2.5 saves at 2.64, make that a little bit closer to evens. I like 3.5, over 3.5, 4 or more saves at 5.3. I make it a little bit like 4.3. So those are my first two that I'm on. By the way, I am shooting myself in the foot doing this before team news, which I am planning on doing. It just happens to be just now that it is after team news. Yesterday, Conrad Lehmer didn't start the game but came on late, really destroying the value that I had in him to get a shot on target and 2+ shots on target. And I wouldn't ordinarily do that, but I was trying to get the video up and I was having to do it before team news, and he was in probable lineups. So that stung a little bit, and that cost me. Another thing that cost me is that after team news, I saw a huge bet come in, and I had a huge bet on it. It was Mbappe to score a goal. It was Mbappe to score any goal in the game, and Mbappe to score first at 3.8 on the exchanges. I made his, excuse the noise in the background, workman's drilling, can't do anything about that. 1.88 was the exchange anytime goal scorer price. Griezmann didn't start. The market makers had already assumed where they were distributing around that XG for France, which was like 2.5. And so Griezmann was getting a lot more goals. He should have been closer to a 1.55 shot. He should have been closer to 2-1 for first goal scorer. So the 3.8 was huge. They got a penalty. He did get that goal. There was no more goals in that match, but a load of value. Now, what am I going to do? Am I going to add that to my sheet here because that was an exchange bet in the Euros? Answer, no. If I did do that, I would have been in profit yesterday. And as it was, betting to win £10 a bet, I lost £13.36. With an ROI, and I'm actually going to do the ROI in my head, of about, I don't know, minus 25%. On one day across 2 games, it doesn't really matter. But I would have been in profit. So I'm not that guy that's just going to use profitable bets that you didn't put in the video just because they won. Only bets I talk about in this video will go into the spreadsheet below. You're no kind of human being if you are tracking your profit loss and you just include random bets that you didn't from the beginning say that you were going to include, even though it was an exchange bet. Racing blogger. There's something in my throat there. It might be the racing blogger. So Dubravka is my first bet. Player to get a card. Jeremy Doku, 8-1. I like that. Enhanced special Lukaku to have a shot on target and Belgium to win. I think that's 117% EV. I really do. I like it. I like it a lot. So I'm on it at 2.61. Portugal to win and Belgium to win and 3 or more goals each. I did get on that at 6. It was much better than the 5.91 it is just now, but whatever. It's obviously drifted. David Hanko to get the first goal in Slovakia versus Romania is 26 to back. Now, it is after team news, but when you apply team news, a lot of the Slovakians are value in this game. Dragos is value to back anytime goal scorer, Harassen. But I've gone for David Hanko. That's the bet that I like. And at 26, his fair odds should be about 22.8. I'll make sure I log that in there. And I also like David Hanko, the centre-back, by the way, which is, well, I mean, that's why he's 26. And I also like Ivan Šranc, anytime goal scorer, in Slovakia versus Romania. And now I'm wondering if he's going to start. He was starting earlier because I used team news to get this. Yes, he's the left winger with 0.16 XG for Slovakia. I mean, I don't really mind this if Romania only get the 1 goal. By the way, is Marin playing for Romania? Interesting. The penalty taker. That's just something of interest to me for my overall top goal scorer golden boot bets. Morin was big value, by the way, in the last game. He's marginal. I think the markets have probably got him about right there. But Ivan Stranz, yeah, the 7.4. I actually got 7. 7.4 was going on the exchanges, but I got 7. He should be mid-6s, I think. Anytime goal scorer. So there's the bets that I'm on just now. Don't really have a lot going on in the evening Portugal games. Oh, apart from Lukaku to have a shot on target and Belgium win. Portugal and Belgium win and 3 more goals in each. So yeah, I will be back. I won't be back tomorrow because we've got a little break in the football. But I'll be back for the first round of 16 games to do a summary of how we've done here. And continue on betting on every match day between now and the end of the Euros. As long as I don't get distracted. Good luck whatever you're on.